Hi, I'm Deli Dutton and I'm doing a drawing for Magical Girl March. I couldn't find a prompt list for this year yet, so I'm using last year's. And instead of trying to do one every day, I'm just using a random number generator. I got an 8, so I'm making a vampire magical girl. Her name is Hannah, and she was able to get a part-time job at a museum of supernatural artifacts because her friend Kosuke worked there too. At first, she was kind of skeptical of all of the weird stuff in the museum. Surely Dracula's fang was just an animal's tooth, and the swamp thing's slime was just some seaweed, and it was super easy to claim that a weird antique was actually a cursed amulet. Kosuke poked fun at her and told her she had to spend a night in the museum as part of her training. Hana was determined to show him that she wasn't frightened of any of this weird stuff. But in the middle of the night, armed with just a flashlight, she heard a strange rattling sound. At first she thought it was just Kosuke sneaking in to frighten her. But when she entered the main exhibit, the room was trashed and a small creature with bat-like ears and large reflective eyes was prying at a box that had many signs warning not to touch it. Hana screamed. It screamed, and the box popped open and a burst of energy came forth. Hana stumbled back and fell against the broken case where Dracula's fang was displayed, and reaching up to pull herself back to her feet, pierced her hand on the fang. She woke up in her room and headed to school as usual. The sun, however, felt a little harsher than normal. When she stopped by the museum after school, she tried to explain what happened, but everything was cleaned up and fixed. The only thing that seemed off was that the box's lock seemed a little busted. That night, the weird wingless bat-like creature was in her room, rumbling about something and trying to wrap up an injury on his arm with one of her scarves. After some shouting, he introduced himself as Ren and complained that he was supposed to be able to control the monsters that escaped from the box, but if he couldn't, it meant that Dracula had an heir, and when he sniffed around for a Dracula smell, it led him to her. Much to his disappointment, this sounded rather rude, and Hana tried to get Ren out of her room until Ren pointed out where she was scratched by the fang. Ren explained that the monsters only respected Dracula, and that meant he needed her for his plan to work. He gave her a wand that was in the box that she was able to use to turn into a magical vampire girl. Her eyes turned red and she became stronger, more durable, and could turn into mist. Because she was just scratched with the fang, she's not a full vampire and doesn't need to drink blood, and sun, running water, and garlic were just minor annoyances. It could become more of a problem if she grows stronger, though. After that, Hana would go out at night and find escaped monsters. There's some tension between her and Ren because Hana would really just like for all of this to end and also would not like monsters to destroy her city, and Ren wants to use the monsters for some mysterious plan. I think most of the magical girl fights are only fights until she figures out what's bothering the monsters, and then after that she helps them with their problems and they agree to go back into the box. I think Kosuke ends up joining her early on because he knows more about monsters and he can help her figure out what they need. He's not always right, though. Sometimes his information is just a rumor or a story made up about the monsters, and the real situation is actually different. It took a while to figure out her costume, but I like how it turned out, and her story idea has got me thinking. Maybe I'll write some more about this vampire magical girl. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to continue on this art journey with me. Bye!